we started to like load all our tools with our doula and our birthing classes and like our confidence building. So it was like, okay, we're gonna go in there like with our battle fatigues on, because like, and we did. I mean, we had like a big old cart like, full of stuff.
Yes.
They're like, we've never seen anyone wheeling a giant cart like that. My name is Marlene, and this is my beautiful wife, Jess. And I'm the lucky one that got to give birth recently, but we also have just had another child, because my wife had our daughter, who is now about to be 1 year old. So for some reason, we thought it'd be a great idea to have two under one, and we went for it, and I got pregnant, and here we are. So my son's about 1 month old now, but we decided that, you know, after going through her birthing experience, which we had birth at the same place, the same hospital, I knew that I did not want to have a birthing experience that was like that. And plus, I am extremely fearful of pain and, you know, any sort of needles. I don't even like getting my blood drawn. So I had a lot of like, I was very scared. And Google is the best friend of mine, because I found hypnobirthing at the Birth Education Center. And so I knew that I needed to do different things for myself in order to get me through my pregnancy, to get me through I got to give birth to a human. What's that going to be like? Can I actually do this? Because all my family and friends are like, are you kidding me? You? Oh my God, you cry when you get a shot. So they didn't help me feel very confident in myself either. And that is where, you know, I definitely substituted like taking therapy. You know, I was going to therapy, the hypnobirthing classes, reading all the material that you guys told me to read. I was actually like the grade A student reading or listening to audiobooks, you know, between work, and doing all the all the prompts and the exercises that were given to me. Like I dived into finding out what my fears and all these things that were secretly harbored inside were, because I wanted to make sure that I was ready mentally, physically, in all those ways. And I really want to thank Jess, because I was like, hell no, I don't want that. I don't want that. Thank you for teaching me that, and I'm glad I didn't get pregnant first. She's the best. But that is the reason why how we prepped for it, is that I knew that what I didn't want, and I didn't want to do that, like it to go that way, and I knew I needed more. I needed more support in a variety of ways. So I really had to. It was like, you either do that, or the day's gonna be here, and you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I didn't prep for this. I'm gonna freak out. And that was just my experience, and it's all because I did all these things previously.
And then one thing that Marlene didn't mention yet is we also got a doula, and that was very different compared to my experience. I won't talk too much about my experience, but unfortunately it was a very traumatic birth experience. And so learning from that, we wanted to do all of these different things and have different tools to just navigate the birth experience the second time around. And our doula that we got, her name was Tanisha, who we also found through the hypnobirthing classes, through reference. And actually in our class, 3 other people had her as well as a doula. So we're like, okay, we're on the Tanisha train.
Yeah, Tanisha train.
Yeah. And she was, in addition to helping us, you know, create tools to navigate through the birth experience. And because all of this is during COVID, Tanisha was not able to actually be present with us during this. So all of this was through virtual learning and coaching, and it was still an amazing experience regardless.
Yeah, totally. I was very excited going through hypnobirthing, coming all this long way of my journey mentally and prepping, right? And we just started hypnobirthing class. I think we're about the 2nd week into it. And I was like, I know what I want. You know, I want to go to a birthing center. I want to give birth naturally. I want to doula. Like, we had it all. Like, we were already in the process. We'd already locked in our doula. I finally like envisioned it all for myself, right? And I was very excited because I hadn't felt like that yet. And it was like, oh yeah, I'm a badass. I could do this. Like, yeah, I can paint this birth the way I would want it to be, right? Right, exactly. That's a knee slapper because that is not the way life is. So at 33 weeks, 33 weeks, second week of hypnobirthing class, I started feeling itchy, right? I was starting to get itchy at night, but like, not like your normal pregnancy itches. I mean, like, I can only say it feels like there's bugs crawling in your skin all over. There's no place that is safe from what this feels like, to the bottom of your feet, the top of your, inside your ears. It is the worst thing. And I didn't want to Google that night when I woke up unbearable mentally, but I did. And I found out about this thing called choleostasis. And I was like, oh God, because it was every symptom that I was having. And it happened so fast. And it's like it comes in about week 32 to 38 in pregnancy and all this stuff, right? ICPcare.org is a great reference for anybody that comes across having symptoms like this, because they provided me with so much information. And I immediately wrote my doctor and I'm like, hey, I think I might have this. Can we get my blood tested? They were very good at responding and taking it seriously, because unfortunately, a lot of doctors do not do that, which I found out through groups and stuff like that. Like, it's just pulling teeth to get doctors to really understand that, like, no, I'm like having severe itching. There's something wrong with me. Please test this. But my doctor pretty much the next day was like, go get your blood drawn. By the end of that week, my levels were just so high, I was diagnosed with choleostasis, which is like it's kind of like a liver disease problem where I get a lot of like bile acids in my liver. So it starts spurting out acid into my bloodstream, which then gets to the fetus or the baby, and which isn't good because the chance of stillbirth is extremely high. So when you have choleostasis, they usually induce between 35 to 38 weeks, depending, So I was like, wow, there it is. Instantly a high risk pregnancy. Everything I had thought was gone in about 1 second. And I didn't want it to be what it was going to be, but I knew that like there's something very wrong with me. And I had a great pregnancy up until that point when I almost made it. I almost made it. I was so close. And it took a lot of like, in class, one of the books that we read was Labor Like a Goddess. Fantastic book. Please read that book. It's amazing. And just the class in general of like knowing that there's going to be a plan A, but you need to have plan B, C, D, and etc. Right? So it was like I took time to like mourn the fact that I had to give up what I envisioned finally feeling confident about, and know that I had to go a different way. Like there's a different path now, and I have to go with the flow, because when am I going to sit here and like cry about it? Like that's going to like do nothing for me. It's like, okay, I got to X this, but here's plan B. Plan B don't go right, we're going to go to C. But like we had all these backup plans ready in case that like something happened. It just was sad to give up plan A. But, I took time to do that and have a great support system with my wife and my family to help me get through that, because choleostasis it's rough. It was a rough month that I had left. Like I pretty much found out and I was going to be induced about 3 weeks later. So it was like, oh my God, okay. And I also had 3 weeks of itching left, which is very intense, very intense. And there's nothing that like makes it go away. It's just something you have to mentally just deal with. And physically, it's hard. But you know that like at the end, how it goes away for you is through birth. So for the mom or the parent or whoever is giving birth, know that it'll be better. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, which was my thought process. Like, okay, once he's out, like this will be gone and it'll be a memory. And it is a memory. And I'm so happy that I don't know what that feels like anymore. I forgot already, So that took a path to go towards hospital birth, which was the same hospital that she had given birth, like we mentioned. And I was like, oh man, because I know the experience there, and it was very, we didn't really have a say in anything. We didn't prep for her birth, and we just kind of were like, okay, whatever you say, like you're the master, right? Like what you assume for doctors. like that they're doing what they're supposed to do. So you're just, there's lots of shady things that went down for her birth. And that's why I knew I didn't want a one like that. But here I am having to go to the same hospital now. And it's like, how are we going to make this our experience, right? Like, we started to like load all our tools with our doula and our birthing classes and like our confidence building. So it was like, okay, we're going to go in there like with our battle fatigues on, because like, and we did. I mean, we had like a big old cart like, full of stuff.
Yes.
They're like, we've never seen anyone wheeling a giant cart like that. And we're like, we're ready for this. Like, they didn't know what they were getting into, but we were like, we knew what we wanted, and like that's how that was gonna go, right? Like that's how this is gonna happen. So, from my perspective, it was like I was forced into a different situation, beyond my control. I accepted it, and then I was ready with all the tools from everything that I surrounded myself with to go in there and give birth. And I wanted it to be very much on his terms, like on my son's terms. Like, I'm the vessel, right? Like, we're gonna do this awesome thing together, but like, you lead the way. Like, I'm not gonna be like forced to do something that like I don't think is right. It's like, listen to your gut. So it was very much like my mindset had shifted so much in between like all those months, that I was like a completely different person from when I started to even just be like, oh God, I'm pregnant, to like, it's almost time, I have to give birth early. Okay, it's like, this is my moment right now. I'm a badass, right? Like, I had affirmations all over the house. Like, like we were that. We had like all our stuff ready. We were like, yeah, I'd be brushing my teeth, reading my affirmations, poop breathing all the time, I'd be like, I'll be back, I gotta go poop breathe. So I was getting ready for game day. I used to play women's tackle football, so it was like game time. I was prepping, reading the playbook. I was just getting ready. Yeah, so that was, yeah. I don't know if you want to chime in anything from like the cholestasis and all that point of view.
I mean, I think you pretty much covered the cholestasis. I mean, just like being a supporting partner, just asking what it is that she needed from me. Just because, as a partner, you feel helpless. Sure, I've gone through birth before, but that does not mean that my pregnancy experience was the same as hers. Our bodies are the same as hers. Our mentals are the same. She tells me she's itchy. All I want to do is put breast milk all over her and try and like help her get rid of the itches. But
she did.
Yes, we did it all.
We tried it all.
Yeah, we're the witchy lesbians who like saged and did the breast milk and did it all. But then I saw the science part and I was like, damn,
it could be a kink. I don't know.
But just offering as best support as I possibly could during the experience, and just knowing that, I don't have all the answers and I can't solve everything, but, just do what I possibly could. So for partners out there who have, their partner is going through cholestasis, ask your partner for what they need. And if your partner doesn't know, that's okay. Let them know that it's okay that they don't know, but you are there. So that's the best advice that I can give.